Yo, what's going on, guys? Back here with another banger video, and in today's video, I'm going to be discussing why the new Cobra Kai seasons, and that classifies seasons 4 through 6, don't hit the same as the original 3 seasons. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So, as you can probably see from the thumbnail of this video, I'm going to be talking about the new gen Cobra Kai characters, and by the new gen, it's Devon, Kenny, and Anthony, the new gen trio. Now, first, I'm going to be going over Kenny and Anthony because they're both introduced at the same time, and obviously they have the dynamic between each other. So, first, we have Anthony being a character built up through even the first season. So I don't know if the writers were trying to build this character up. I'm guessing they were, or they just wouldn't have had him in the show at all. But I guess they planned this from the beginning. But if they were doing that, I feel like they could have done a better job on him, because I feel like he's pretty hateable. Like, he's pretty easy to hate, honestly. So if they were building up since season 1, they really should have done a better job with him. So, obviously, we have Anthony bullying Kenny, because Kenny's the new kid at school, and Anthony's kind of being peer pressured into the bullying, so it's not completely his fault, but he still, obviously, shouldn't have done it. And then Kenny reaches out to Robbie teaches him Cobra Kai, Kenny gets revenge, and then Kenny goes a little bit OD. I would honestly say a lot OD. And then Cobra Kai is shut down, and then they're forced to join the same dojo. So, the reason I don't really like these new gens is because their purpose in the story was together. Their combined purpose was to beat Hawk. That was their only purpose in the entire show. Was so Kenny could beat Hawk in Season 5, and Cobra Kai could make it to the Saikai. Literally name one other thing, please. Name one other thing that Kenny did that pushed the story along. That was the only thing they did. And the only thing Anthony did was create Kenny and make him a character. So, if we're having characters that do one singular action to push the story along, they shouldn't be as important as they are. Like, why are these the main characters? In Season 1, we had, 5 main characters. We had Miguel, Johnny, Daniel, Robbie, and Sam. Now we got, 10 main characters, and they all have different story arcs, and, who am I supposed to like? Because it's a little hard when everyone in the show has, a background and a reason to root for them. I'm not saying you should just make one-sided characters like Terry Silver who are just evil for the sake of being evil. But you kind of got to give me a side to root for. I know I'm not supposed to root for Kreese and Quan, but Quan's a badass. Quan is sick, and you expect me not to root for him? He's pretty cool. And you make Miguel the worst character in the show, so obviously I'm not going to root for Miguel. But I think instead of adding these new characters that they have depth, yes, but they don't have very much importance in the story. So instead of adding these new characters that don't do much in the story and just take up space and screen time, what you should do is develop the old characters that you haven't given character development, such as Dimitri. And yes, I know he had extreme character development in Season 6, but it wasn't very good. It was a little OD forced, and it was a little predictable, honestly. Once we heard that Hawk hadn't signed up for MIT, I was dead. I was like, all right, Dimitri's just about to crash out and turn into Prime Hawk. It was literally like that. It was so predictable, and it wasn't very realistic. I'm gonna be honest. If you gave Dimitri that in Season 2, he wouldn't have been doing all that. They could have done so much more stuff with Dimitri's character, and I think they just did that because they realized, oh crap, we introduced this character in Season 1 and we haven't given any development. Yeah, we should probably do a little bit something with him. So instead of giving him that trash character development, they could have somehow made him join Cobra Kai. I'm not saying they should have done this, because that would have probably been a little bit trash, because he's like the most opposite Cobra Kai character I can think of. But maybe just think of a different way to make Cobra Kai go to the Sekai Taikai. Perhaps, I feel like that's the only way, because they would need a male fighter to beat Hawk. And, Dimitri beating Hawk in that fight would actually be kind of good. Think about it. If Dimitri beat Hawk, Hawk would be, holding back because he don't want to hurt his old friend. And then Dimitri's on his, villain arc, and he takes advantage of that and wins it. So then we have, actual character development for Kenny. Or not Kenny. So then we have actual character development for Dimitri. And then Dimitri would take Kenny's spot in Season 6, and they would be, trying to lock him back in. That would be good development. I'm not saying they should have done that, because I don't know how good the writing would have been with that. I think that would have just made the story better in general, because then you stick with the main characters. You only need to add a new character, I think, if you're going to either remove a character, like in other shows. If a season prior, a main character gets removed, then the next season, they usually add a new main character. But in this show, they just add new characters without removing any. The only character they removed was Aisha and Silver. And Silver's coming back in Season 6, Part 2, because of the leaks. So, yeah. They should really just try to develop old characters instead of just adding new ones that only serve one purpose in the plot and then just take up my screen, and I don't want to watch them because I don't like them. I'm going to be honest, I don't really like any of the new gens. None of them interest me. If you saw my top 5 most hated Cobra characters, both Anthony and Kenny were both on it. And I don't really care for Devon. She's alright. She's just trying to impress Johnny. I can respect that, but the other two, I just don't like them at all. Alright, enough yapping about Dimitri. I literally completely forgot what this video was about, but now we're on to Devon Lee. So, the only reason Devon Lee even was introduced into the show was so Eagle Fang could have a shot at winning the girls' title in Season 4, and I just think that's so dumb. You're not winning. Any girl you recruit ain't winning. If I was Johnny, I know Johnny wouldn't do this because he's, rivals with Daniel still in that season, but he should have just joined back. He really should have just joined back from Miyagi-Do. There was really no reason to go try to find a brand new girls champion. That's not about to happen, my boy. You are not going to find a whole champion and train her for 3 months, and then she's going to beat Tori and Sam. What? That's insane. That's insane optimism. And then after she loses in Season 5, she joins Cobra Kai to focus her anger. And she does nothing except be Tori's little pet. And then in Season 6, she's just Johnny's daughter. And Johnny's girls are easy. And she's trying to help Johnny and get his approval and whatnot. And I low-key like her character arc in Season 6, but it serves nothing to the plot. It really doesn't. We all know Kenny's a better fighter than her. So why is she even in the show? We all know Dimitri's a better fighter than her. So why is she even in the show? She doesn't serve any purpose in the entire show. Anybody in the comments, tell me something she did to improve the plot. She gets dog walked in basically all of her fights. And she doesn't do anything. She doesn't change any events in the plot. And she gets dog walked in every fight. She's not a useful resource for a tournament. And it's not like she's helpful or she moves the plot along. She's basically just a fodder student in the background. She does not have to be a character. So, I don't know. She's a little bit useless in my opinion. A lot useless. She's the Sakura of Cobra Kai. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, and I'll see y'all in the next one.